Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I'm Mikey.
I'm Beef.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Westworld Season 2, Episode 4, Samurais.
No, this is about a Sphinx.
The Riddle of the Sphinx.
Which way do we go? Forward or back?
Is there Egypt World?
It probably is, but I don't think it's the same as...
Tomb raiding?
Maybe.
That would be a rough
time period, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens, though, because we left on a very, very interesting moment.
This is just white people conquering the world.
Do you think Moses comes up from past Egypt world?
No!
Rises the sea?
Stop!
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. Thank you for joining us for Westworld. We're going to be starting this episode in 3, 2, 1. Westworld. Make sure to vote on the poll whether or not we're keeping watching Westworld seasons 3 and 4 or not.
This is symbolism.
The sand, yeah. The sand of time.
Yeah.
This panning shot is so interesting.
Oh, it's we've seen those cigarettes before.
I think those are just the generic cigarettes.
Got the jitters?
That was
Oh no.
Thing these cretins will give me is grapefruit juice.
Is he in hospice?
If you aim to cheat the devil, you owe him an offering.
Okay.
I own a biotechnology company, and I'm dying of a disease whose research I defunded 15 years ago.
Oh, irony. Yeah, get fucked, man. You deserve that.
So what's the idea? That afterwards you and I have the exact same conversation?
Are they making a copy of him?
I think so.
So he's schematics
His
for him?
eye twitching is crazy.
You think those were his own schematics?
That's what I was thinking.
What if it's him? That's why he always grabs them.
Lawrence might be my favorite character. He's so good.
Oh.
Yeah, they just used to do that.
Wild. Why?
Bro, how far is she dragging him?
I was just gonna say that. His ass has got to be chapped.
Clementine,
Just leaves it. Bro.
where are we?
Oh, Ellie.
She's alive?
Elsie,
Elsie.
Are you fucking kidding me?
you're okay.
Don't move.
Please, please,
What the hell is wrong with you?
please. Elsie, please.
Where did you go when he rotated out?
I never thought she'd come back as a player. She got all the tricks.
Wild transition.
There's something here. Something they've been working on a long time.
What?
What the actual fuck?
There's a facility.
Oh, he's been here before. Before he was wiped.
What?
I think Ford had Clementine bring me here for a reason.
Ford isn't dead.
Everything's
Just his simulacrum.
Yeah, basically.
This is a grand story. He's programmed everything down to the last detail.
Dude, this is like giving me anxiety. He's like fucked up.
What the? That's a flawless job. Yo, that stonemason needs a raise.
The hell? That's crazy. Did Ford have Elsie placed out of harm's way?
What the hell happened here?
Oh!
This is a control unit printer. What are they doing with this?
Control unit?
I'm turning into a horror movie.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, Elsie.
What the hell were they doing here?
I think they were watching the guests.
Okay, stay with me, British. Stay with me.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
That vial probably cost like 10 grand. But she was like,
Seems to me like our rescue's in the same boat we are.
Is that the guy?
yeah.
Oh yeah, he still was captured. Mm-hmm. He didn't get out yet. Yeah, we're still before the beach.
Does he speak Lakota? Nope.
She said time is coming.
She speaks it?
Something is coming. I'm not looking to get out of here.
Who are you?
woman in black. Wait, maybe that's his
Lady in the white shoes.
daughter.
Lady in the white shoes.
That'd be crazy.
Hey. I haven't even shot anybody yet.
Double-crossed by some bitch named of Wyatt.
Good for her.
On fate. You people have some village elder who can speak for you, make some kind of a deal. I ain't interested in making fucking deals.
Damn.
You told me you had a daughter.
Brother.
Did I?
You think she want to watch you gun down in front of her?
Problem.
Thinking.
What the fuck are you doing?
You. Let's make a deal. The weapons are in an unmarked grave.
Oh my God.
Church. I know something you don't. I know where you're going. You call it glory, but it's got a lot of names.
That's what Dolores said. He's getting better.
Didn't spell it. Maybe they're setting a baseline so they can restore his like Alzheimer's.
You think he has Alzheimer's?
I mean dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, something.
What's the idea? That afterwards we'd have the exact same conversation?
Like you're doing now.
Oh! Oh my God.
Don't say it. Oh! They're programming his brain?
They're studying it because his brain resets like hosts do. And to get the perfect conversation experience each time, you must study the closest thing to resetting your brain, which is dementia and Alzheimer's.
I take it I didn't recover.
I'm afraid not.
Oh.
How long's it been?
7 years.
Oh my God.
And my granddaughter,
She's whip smart. Capable.
oof.
They keep talking about the granddaughter.
We're gonna need to keep you here just a little bit longer. We don't want to wear you out.
Wear me out. Get some fresh aid. Yeah. Get back to...
Yeah,
It's good to have you back, Jim.
he's a dick. Wow.
Made it to day 7 this time, so that's progress. Would you like to go ahead and terminate, sir?
I mean, that just seems wasteful. That's fucked up.
If it falls, does it explode?
Yeah. He
His reflection in the mirror in the glass.
Never
Crazy.
stare at it.
This music, crazy.
Well done, my friend.
Pow!
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
He just shot his hand off.
You'd set your hands in that occupation. He wanted to test if it was still good. I bet.
Who will decide?
Someone.
God damn.
You live only as long as the last person who remembers you.
God damn.
They didn't kill him.
What the fuck?
Ghost Nation.
I've seen this kind of encryption scheme before.
Where?
In Peter Abernathy's head.
Ooh.
Wild 3D printer.
They weren't building hosts. Not exactly. The same hardware, but the code is different.
The building people.
Who's
Maybe we
there?
don't want to know.
Can be Ford behind the door.
Who could it be now?
I'm not here with you, am I?
It's his memories.
Did he kill everybody?
But death can't bear to lay claim on me. So it sent me back here
Easy.
to do its bidding.
He couldn't look. Come on, William. Stop being a piece of shit. Once again, water.
Renewal, baptism.
Change.
Water.
It's his when his wife killed herself in the bathtub.
This is symbolism.
Wow. He's got to do it.
You think death favors you, but death's decisions are final.
Whoa.
Death is always true.
Fire.
You think you know death, but you don't.
Is that so?
You didn't recognize him sitting across.
Oh. Oh.
Wild, bro.
Oh. Body.
Literally, he used him as a meat shield. God damn. That was wild.
One more. Oh my man. Oh. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Ugh. What did it taste like?
Gasoline.
Yeah.
Don't worry, amigo. I'm here now. Watching over you.
My man got a long rifle now.
Gonna shoot him. Gonna explode.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's gonna give it to Lawrence. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awful.
Deserved.
Goldfish memory. That's the symbolism. Yup. Yup.
Oh! He kept him around?
Who the fuck are you? Been a long time, Jim.
Wow.
How you feeling?
Better than you look. I'm as fit as a fit.
Oh,
I'm as.
this is as far as I get into the conversation these days.
The engineers call it a cognitive plateau. Your mind is stable for a few hours, a few days, and then starts to fall apart.
Oh, it's a host.
You know, first I thought it was your mind rejecting the new body. Like an organ. It's not a perfect match, but it's more like your mind rejects reality. No, Jim, this is the 149th time we've brought you back.
Brought him back.
Another year or two, they might crack it. Get a version of you that's viable long term.
The hourglass is less sand.
I'm beginning to think that this whole enterprise was a mistake. People aren't meant to live forever.
Yeah.
World is better off without you, Jim. Possibly without me. Logan overdosed years ago.
Oh shit.
Couldn't face reality either. Took me a long time to learn this. But some men are better off dead.
Probably so fucking thick, that glass.
He was stable. We should terminate, sir. Sir!
Leave him.
Oh. Oh.
Elsie.
Someone's in there.
Don't.
The tech? Must have been recent.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Backwards.
He's going backwards, you're right.
You have to go back to go forward.
Yikes, bro.
I'm all the way down now. I can see all the way to the bottom.
Oh my god. Bernard, get him, man. Whew.
They said there were two fathers.
What?
One above, one below.
Oh no.
God and the devil.
They lied. I was only ever the devil.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
When you look up from the bottom, it was just this reflection. You aim to cheat the devil. You owe him at least an offering.
This
As the flames of hell!
Literally.
So they printed his body. Then they copied his developed mind onto a control.
Yeah.
House. They're gonna get us all killed so some asshole can live forever?
William said some men are better off dead.
I
I think I know why Ford sent me here. He had me print a control unit for someone else. Another human.
Ford?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I always trusted code more than people anyway.
He murders everyone.
Oh,
Bro.
oh, torture rack.
Oh.
Oh,
That was
the thing. Yeah.
No, that's wild.
Oh,
Whoa. Oh. He's the good guy now? That's crazy.
He won't be coming back.
Prophetic
They
sound.
might not remember, but I know who you are, William. One good deed doesn't change that.
Who said anything about a good deed? You wanted me to play your game. I'm gonna play it to the bone.
And you still don't understand the real game we're playing here.
Oh.
The walking.
you know who it is.
That's his daughter.
Yep.
It's so obvious.
Hi, Dad.
Yep.
Oh, I called it.
All right. So, crazy episode. I had so many theories going on, and I think the politicians being cloned right now is shelved because I think what they're really trying to do is figure out how to make people immortal by preserving their basically their consciousness. Yeah.
Ship of Theseus. I think it's both a human and a host. How much can you take away? How much can you put back? And still determine if it's a human or a host.
That's what they were trying to figure out with James.
I fucking owned you. I literally am inside your head.
What?
What?
You said that it wasn't Ship of Theseus.
I said I don't understand why you're talking about the Ship of Theseus.
Because the whole point of it is you
were talking about Abernathy.
Yeah, and now I'm saying this same theme. I'm talking about the theme of the second season.
Okay.
Is Ship of Theseus style.
That's not what you mentioned last time.
That's it.
You were talking about Abernathy.
Mikey, put back our whole discussion.
It's not edited yet. What are you talking about? All right. Moving into this episode, that was quite interesting because the biggest, obviously, focus was that secret, place where they're making secret hosts, which are humans hosts. The reality is, that was the first human host besides Arnold / Bernard.
Yeah.
And the main purpose seems to be not the same as Bernard, who was to create somebody who that Ford can use equal to him while also being useful as a, person who does the coding, I believe. But also, this is trying to figure out how to put somebody's actual consciousness into a host and see how long it lasts. Mm-hmm. And it seems like they got up to 36 days with the consciousness in the host.
30-ish days or so.
Before it starts to degrade. But it reminds me of Alzheimer's. Maybe he did have Alzheimer's as a disease or something like that, or another disease. But the memory loss, when he wakes up every day different, but they try to, preserve the discussion. It reminds me of how they're basically trying to make hosts with the reveries, but also be able to make somebody's, loved one who died come back and function without being, just straight up a cyborg, roughly coded.
Right.
Which is interesting because it means if somebody dies, they could technically have their consciousness put into a machine and then continue, for example, running their company.
But is it really them?
That's a whole different discussion, honestly,
yeah.
Of consciousness versus whatnot. Because it's not the same as taking somebody's brain and putting the brain inside that, unless they have a way to preserve the person's consciousness via software, and it's actually them.
I mean, didn't Star Trek's teleporters work by basically killing you and spawning you somewhere else?
I believe so.
And they treated them like they're the same person.
Well, because you preserve the consciousness.
And hockey is not comparable to Key. We're talking about different universes and different rules.
I don't even know what you just said.
Exactly.
Oh, he's hockey and Key. So it's like two power levels in anime.
Mana and Chi are not the same in every universe.
So he's basically saying that because this universe is a different one, different rules apply, which is fair. Yeah. Big reveal in this episode. First off,
that wasn't about rules of the universe, it's about philosophy.
You were saying that yes, and there's different.
No. Rules of the universe and philosophy are two distinct things.
So you're saying they treated them in Star Trek as the same person?
Yeah. Even though they got murdered and reborn.
Okay.
So it would be the same person.
Okay.
If we're following, like,
Yeah,
because
if
if
we're
no
following
one,
Star Trek,
no one
logic,
has a problem with Star Trek's idea of it.
Okay.
But it's not the same consciousness. It'll be the same person, but not the same consciousness to an extent.
What is consciousness?
So basically, it's
That's the whole point
That's the
of
whole
the
point.
show.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
whole point of the fucking show is what is consciousness?
I know, like, is it just
There's no way to know if you're the same person who went to sleep.
Exactly.
There's no way to know if I'm a brain in a jar and I'm like that's a whole like I could be a brain in a jar and this
No
is
one
all just
stare at the lamp in the corner.
yeah. The lamp looks weird.
The big thing too also is like consciousness really is like, if you wake up every day and you have memories, it's crazy. No, I'm not.
I'm not. If Mikey goes, I'm here. Am I here with you right now? And the seats are empty, and he's been just talking to us.
I should do that as one of the edits.
Yeah, one of the edits. Doesn't look like anything.
So I really am curious to know what disease Mr. Delos has. I'll probably be very ambiguous about it, but I thought it was Alzheimer's to an extent, which would make sense.
It's just a wasting disease, which is why he had
that's what
the shakes.
exactly.
Well, I thought the shakes were from his
like some
from being a robot.
I think it's just some
No, because at least the way it's portrayed is that first shot we see is supposed to be like
actually.
him.
Yeah, that's the grading.
That's why they then cut it away and do it again.
And he gets better and better. Okay, makes sense. In this, Mike made
like Parkinson's, maybe.
Mike has a theory right now. Lawrence is
that was more
Mr.
of
Delos.
a dartboard crackpot theory.
I like that theory though, because it would make sense if Lawrence was somebody.
No, I said that before we got revealed that his dad was actually in his dad's body.
I think it makes sense to extrapolate upon the point and say that it's possible that some of the main hosts
are written off of people in their lives,
and more care and stuff.
It's easier to create a personality based off of a real person than to make one up, type of thing.
Because also William said
everything is a copy of something else.
Yeah, William said what's this? He said that the older hosts were more advanced and adept.
Right.
So like it's possible that as they went down, the newer host learned from the older host, and it was an easier process. They didn't have to take a person and put the whole consciousness in there. They just had a new host learn stuff from the old host through the like bond that they share. They said within a certain radius they could communicate telepathically.
Yeah, that which was interesting because I've been thinking about that a lot, and it helps a lot, especially with Dolores, how she kind of
controls. Yeah. If you hold
and Maeve too.
Yeah.
Now in this episode, a big reveal was made to us in the fact that Elsie is still alive. And she was placed specifically in a spot by, Bernard because Arnold wanted her placed there. Probably. Main thing was it's the entrance to this underground place where the Mr. Delos was. I wonder if she was placed there out of harm's way because Ford did not want her part of the massacre because he likes her. She's not a host, she's the second in command. But she's technically not a host that we know of. So I would assume Ford's most trustworthy person that isn't a host.
I would say most useful.
Yeah.
I would not describe Ford as liking people.
Yeah. But
see, I don't think Ford is dead because why would he make everyone play the game if he's not there to giggle at them playing?
Because the game is not possible with him alive, maybe.
Yeah.
So he killed, but that's what the.
But his consciousness, he has some floating consciousness.
No. I think Ford is alive, and the Ford that died was a body. Yeah, no, I don't think he because there's no with the way that everything's set up, and there's no actual facts on this. I'm inferring all of it.
Yeah.
But Ford has been so instrumental in the entirety of this venture that he has to, and he has his own secrets that he knows how to hide away. He has to be aware of what William was doing with Papa Delos. So he had to have been aware that would be a bad idea, which is why he did his thing with Arnold and Bernard. And he's like, this is a much better option. So I think he built himself a la Bernard, but instead trying to build himself enough for the speech. And then as soon as he got shot, it wasn't him, it was his host.
And William funded enough research into recreating a personality in a person that he was able to build on it.
And it lasts for 30 days. So Ford could have exited a month ago to his secret bunker. And this could be the Ford that's trying to rob.
And you know what? He could have done it. He could have done that when when Charlotte Hale was having sex with, was it Lawrence?
No,
It was
Hector.
Hector, because they listened to everything and they were talking about overthrowing him then, so he could have swapped himself out.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Armistice also is alive. We found out.
Yeah, we found out she was alive this episode. And I love how
Didn't she get
No,
murdered?
or was that last episode?
Did she get murdered like at the start of the
you're right,
insurrection?
episode. Yeah, you're right. That was
No,
last
she
episode.
did. Yeah, that. Sorry.
She did.
This timeline is all
It's all over the fucking place, dude. It's so all over the place.
Now, who do you think, if it isn't Ford, who do you think another option for the consciousness is?
There was 3 people in that photo when they showed Bernard.
I thought it was Mr. Delos.
It might have been.
Right? Wasn't it Arnold, Ford, and Mr. Delos?
It could have been.
Because he was like the funder.
They didn't extrapolate on it. They didn't say.
It could be a third person.
I
feel,
can't remember.
I feel like they would have brought up third person by this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they just killed him.
So, the one thing
150th
I thought was interesting too was via the memory transfer. I think William comes to realize that he said like the world is better off without some people, and I think he realizes that he shouldn't continue that research because the majority of the people who want that and can afford it
are awful people.
Are awful people who are incredibly rich and will just use that to make more wealth and power and the world more miserable. And he realizes this, especially because he realizes his pursuit of this has caused his wife to kill herself, as well as lost his daughter because of that, and he doesn't want other people to have to deal with that too, because the reality for him it probably became family was more important than losing than immortality, because he lost everything for nothing. And that's what they kind of say in reality is what's the point of living forever if you're going to see your loved ones pass on? It's and then be alone. This episode was interesting as well because we saw the security guard and the daughter were captured together by the Ghost Nation, but the Ghost Nation spoke perfect English with no accent and said,
yeah,
he said I forgot specifically what he said, but it was enough to make me think that he's like, this isn't your time or something.
You live long enough. You live until the last memory of something.
Yeah,
it's like a famous line. It's just fuck.
You live long. You live as long as the last memory.
The
person who remembers you. Yes.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to me because as soon as he said that, it was almost like there was a time skip. So it made me think in that moment, it was as we saw Bernard going through memories, the security guard was going through memories, and he's a host, and that was him, their way of hinting towards us that he was experiencing these memories. The only argument against that was that the Ghost Nation was killing hosts, but then my only argument against that argument is that the Ghost Nation may not know that certain hosts are programmed to be recognized as humans, like the security guard.
So to build on that,
because he had like
the first episode of this season, Bernard's explanation for why the hosts were able to kill people was that they see them as hosts. So maybe there's something that can make a host be seen as human.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's how they because that's how they recognize
the first season. He said
that would make the most sense.
The first episode, Bernard, when they were in the barn, he was like, Ford must have programmed them to see everyone as hosts.
Well, that makes sense though, because if you think about it, the people who were there's 2 people that we know were seen as, or no, sorry, one person was seen as a human that was a host, which was Bernard, and he was a host that was seen as human.
Yeah.
By the otherwise they would have interacted as him the other way, but. And by that I mean he has commands that they recognize.
Yeah.
They don't recognize commands from other hosts. Interestingly enough, I thought that episode went really quick compared to some of the other ones, especially because we felt like we got a lot of information.
Yeah.
But it also set up more questions, which is I feel like a great mid-season episode sets up a lot of questions while giving you some answers, but not enough that you're like everything, just enough that leaves you like theorizing like we are right now. And it's exactly what they did with the Delos and, the Delos room downstairs with Mr. Delos.
Yeah.
And then they made us completely forget about Abernathy and his data and all that stuff for a little bit too.
That was really like a little bit of a horror just interjected into the show. Like,
it was.
Nothing's been like that except like philosophical questions
and
get a little
that was
weird.
Like the worst death I've seen.
Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely the most psychological horror. They do a really good job in this show, which is something I like because I like it about other some of my other favorite shows do a deconstruction of humanity. They really deconstruct consciousness and psyche and like what it means to be a person and how would you act if this was the first time that you were in control of your own life, et cetera, et cetera.
That's fair.
They do a good job at
We also were talking last episode about the Confederados coming back. They came back really fast as they took over Lawrence's town. And in this episode, we really see the reality of who the Man in Black currently is, William is right now, and that he's kind of a good guy in the sense that he has gotten attached to Lawrence and doesn't want to see any issues with him.
Yeah.
I feel like once the game became real, in the sense that anything that dies, including the hosts, because there's nobody to recreate them, he started to sort of be less of a person who just kills everything.
Yeah.
Because that was always his problem was, everything was too fake and gimmicky and, it comes back, how can you really enjoy the reality of that? But once life has basically a value beyond just, of entertainment, it's more real for him. Plus, I think he got attached to him over all these years of journeying together. That'd be my biggest guess.
Not my friend.
The whole, it was crazy though with the nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
But the whole hand shooting scene was absolutely nuts. Probably one of the most insane scenes I've seen in a TV show, with the just walk around and he did it and he just shoots his hand off. That and making the guy drink the nitroglycerin was crazy.
Just to blow him up.
Yeah. I mean, I love how he gave Lawrence his just deserves by Lawrence his justice by giving him the gun and being like, he did the trigger.
I don't know how I'm gonna like William's daughter being introduced, because like on the one hand there's promise there, but on the other hand, like they've made it such a focal point that he's been a failure because of what, like his failure with his wife and daughter, that reintroducing the daughter, and I feel like it kind of cheapens it.
You feel like
his path to redemption is cheapened because he can act in front of her instead of on his own.
You think it forced like a moral crux into
kind of
storyline.
I feel like she's gonna be just as terrible as he is.
She might be.
There's a strong possibility. That's why
she shot that guy. She shot that host and whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm
not a host.
I'm not against it, but I am very trepidatious about it.
I'm gonna say my prediction is that William will die saving her to redeem him in her eyes as the classic trope, but it'll be done in the most badass way possible so that we enjoy it, because there's only one way William can die in this universe, and that's by taking out like 100 people by himself, like literally in the most badass way. And you may hate that, but I feel like they really want to try to have William be redeemed in this, because otherwise they wouldn't have injected.
No, it's fine with him redeeming himself. It's just him redeeming himself in front of the daughter that he's trying to seek redemption because he lost is like kind of a cheapening.
I understand.
Well, I don't think she's gonna stay. I think it'll be like, you have to go, I'll do this, and so she doesn't see it. But
we're gonna find out. I hope that it becomes that, because there's a lot of paths they can take, but like the way that they introduce her during this part of his character arc just feels like it's kind of like not as it would require very careful handling.
I almost hope that they make it so that he cares more about what Lawrence thinks than his daughter thinks, just like he doesn't
keep him as an awful person.
Yes, because he doesn't care what people think, but he spent all this time with Lawrence and saved him. I feel like he actually kind of cares for Lawrence at this point, especially because of all the journeys they've been on together and how Lawrence has been there since the beginning. I almost feel like if it was just him and Lawrence, William would basically say, what Lawrence does deserve to see the end of the maze or the end of the game, just like, him.
Yeah.
Besides that, the quote about the devil was crazy from William. He's like, what if God is just the devil's reflection staring back up at you? And I'm just like, that was was that him or was that Jim? That was Jim that said that?
Yeah.
So Jim saying that was crazy. I thought it was William for some reason. But when he said that was crazy. And then when William left out, all you see is fire. And that was pretty much the best way to describe that. In reality, Ford, William, and Mr. Delos, to an extent, are all devils masquerading as gods, and you're just looking at them from the wrong point of view, because they're all sadistic fucks.
All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Because Mr. Delos was the god who made the money, the devil who made the money. And remember, a lot of his things were, I don't want to fund that because there's no short-term money gain. And as a result, he didn't fund his disease for 15 years, and then he got it.
Delicious irony.
So he had a disease he could have been researching this disease for 15 years, and then whatever. I feel like the disease was probably the disease that William ends up curing just to spite him.
That's why that guy came up to him and was like, you saved my wife.
Yeah, I thought it's the same disease, and that's going to be a big point. Is William actually, once the dad died, he realized that the point wasn't to make a legacy via, recreating yourself, but to make a legacy by your actions. And that's how you immortalize yourself, is through actions and not actually becoming immortal. You know,
which is the memory comment from
yes,
the
exactly.
Ghost Nation.
Yeah, you only die when the last person forgets you, and that's the truth of it. You know, you don't have to be famous, or you don't have to be a super big person to become, you know, immortal. You just have to do enough good deeds that people talk about you for long.
That also is like such a nice contrast to the fact that Bernard's memories are like jumpy. And,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Bernard is going through it right now.
Yeah.
Now moving forward, we have.
You're not supposed to look that way.
Well, moving in a direction that may be forward or backwards. We have a lot of things potentially lined up for us, which involves the clashing of the armies, you know, as well as the
what armies? They keep falling apart as soon as they form.
Well,
I feel like I'm online in a giant guild.
Plus, we have like
we're merged into a 300-person circ, and we broke it.
I feel like the timelines are eventually going to catch up to each other too, because I feel like we're getting close to where it reaches present day, as you know, Bernard does more and more things. But we're still, I feel like, a decent bit away from him actually showing up, because wasn't it 2 weeks it took for them to show up on the island?
I don't know a goddamn thing about the time.
It took 2 weeks. So this is like still the first 24 hours of Bernard and, you know, Bernard basically trying to survive the purge of Westworld, you know, host versus humans. And just literally, I think within 24 hours before that, Elsie was knocked out. So she's only been in that cave for like 2 days. If even.
Which means Ford knew he was going to die.
This is too far in the foot.
Ford's alive. Yeah. I knew it.
Now.
Because why would you put Elsie in a cave with protein bars if he wasn't going to be there within the timeline of the protein bars? Which he would only know that he would be there if everything was going to go to shit. They're going to end up there. Which means that Ford planned this since before he knew he was getting fired, which is why he definitely
killed Arnold.
Swapped himself with a simulacrum.
Let's find out. I don't have anything else to add. A lot of my theories are on the table right now. I think everybody's theories are on the table.
We've hit crackpot.
I think we dissect that episode pretty well. The only thing I really want to know is, you know, the fate of the research. Like, what does the research go for? Is it to preserve people? Is it to create people, like replace them in real life? Or is it really just to create cool ass fucking worlds where you can go on vacation and do whatever you want? Was that the end goal? Obviously not. We're going to have to find out, though, as we go through the final, you know, basically bits of what I feel like revealing and move towards the bulk of just like, you know, the action.
We're like at the start of season 2. We still have a lot to go.
I feel like they're going to reveal a lot of like the plot and then let it basically be in motion with the plans of Maeve, Dolores, and, you know, all the other people moving, like, you know, Man in Black and Delos.
For us to find out.
Keep watching. So thank you for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Beef.
And I'm Mike.
We are the 732 Review Crew. If you do enjoy this, check out Patreon for full on to this and other content, as well as movies and polls you can vote on, which include, do we replace this with a new show or do we do the next 2 seasons? Let us know in the comments if you've been enjoying this, and let us know your favorite part, your favorite theory we've had so far. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Toodaloo.
Take care.